Hi, third graders. We're back to our read aloud called Poppy by Avi, and we're in chapter 11. Erethizon Dorsatum. In the obscure murk of the log's interior, Poppy crouched tensely. Slouching slowly out of the dark came a flat-faced beast with a blunt black nose, snout, and fierce grizzled whiskers. Its eyes were heavily lidded, as though it had just awakened. The creature moved ponderously with a waddle and a rattle. Its stench, that means smell, was powerful enough to make Poppy clamp a paw over her nose. The moment the animal caught sight of her, it came to a clumsy stop and blinked. "What the bee's butt are you doing here, furball?" it snarled. Poppy, wishing she knew what kind of animal she was facing, could only whisper, "It's just me, sir." "The name is Erth," the animal snapped. "Erethizon Dorsatum. But I just get called Erth. What's more, I'm a grump, and you just woke me up. So don't try to slick me down with slug slop." I'm truly sorry I woke you, Mr. Erth," Poppy said. "What are those things on your head?" the beast growled. "Fat, flat balloons or ears? The name is Erth, Ereth. And stop your barking." "Please, Erth, it's not me barking." "Then who the frog flip is making that racket?" It's a fox at the entrance to the log." "Some idiot friend of yours?" Oh, no, sir, not my friend." "Who the dung beetle bit are you, anyway?" Erth suddenly demanded. "You're so small, I can hardly see you." "I'm a deer mouse, a girl deer mouse." "I didn't ask what you are. I don't give bugs bathwater about that. I asked for your name." "Poppy." "Poppy? What kind of idiotic name is that?" "Please, it's a family tradition. We're named after flowers and fruits." "Erethizon Dorsatum is my name, Latin name. But you kids don't learn Latin anymore, do ya?" I don't know what Latin is, sir. I mean, Erth." The beast sniffed loudly. The whole forest is full of idiots like that fox." During this conversation, the fox had continued to bark and whine, occasionally even digging ferociously at the log entrance. "Pop, fop, snop," Erth cried, "or whatever your idiotic name is. Would you tell that fox to shut up?" "It's Poppy. And if I tell him, I don't think he will." "Why not?" "He wants to eat me," Poppy said faintly. "Eat you?" "Yes." "Jerk," Erth said scornfully. "But then all meat eaters are jerks. Ever notice that? I mean, did you ever meet?" There's the picture. Did you ever meet a meat eater who wasn't loud and aggressive? Did ya? Never mind. Just get out of here and leave me alone." "I can't," Poppy cried. "Why the bat bilge can't you?" "I just told you," Poppy pleaded. "If I go out, he'll eat me." "Look here," Erth cried, "whatever your idiotic name is, don't you have any guts?" "Please, it's Poppy." "Oh, weasel wonk. I don't care what it is. All I'm saying, if a creature can't take care of himself, he has no business sneaking into my house, waking an old coot like me in the middle of the day and asking for my help." "I never asked you for your help," an exasperated Poppy replied. "Can't you understand anything? That fox chased me. Do you think I like being in here? It stinks." Erth blinked. "Oh, all right," he growled. "I suppose I better talk some sense into that meat mauler. Just get out of my way," he snarled and began to waddle forward. "It's your lookout, not mine, if you get pricked by one of my quills." Poppy's heart clenched. Did You say quills? She stammered. Of course I said quills, Fuzzball. Yes, but what? Poppy was dizzy with fear. Her knees shook. She found it hard to swallow. What are you? Don't you have eyes? Earth screeched. Or are those spots on your face buttons? I'm a porcupine. Porcupine? The word turned Poppy numb. She could hardly breathe. She could not think. Floppy or Poppy, Earth bellowed, will you get your flea-flicking self out of my way? Poppy dived against the pulpy wall of the log and squeezed herself flat to allow Earth room. Even so, as the porcupine waddled by, his quills raked across her belly like a rusty comb. Never, despite all she'd confronted, had Poppy been so terrified. Earth, however, continued to make his ponderous way towards the log's entrance, where the fox was still barking and yelping. Poppy felt sure that once the fox was disposed of, the prickly monster would turn on her. First, he would shoot her with his quills. Next, he would stab her. Then he would skewer her. Finally, he would chop her up into tiny bits and eat her. For a moment, Poppy considered offering herself to the fox. If the choice was being swallowed in one gulp or being tortured by this porcupine, surely death by fox would be preferable. Poppy stared into the darkness of the log. Perhaps there was an escape hole, but frozen by the terror of her predicament, she could not move. Instead, her eyes turned towards the entrance, certain she was about to witness some ghastly carnage. Sure enough, when Earth reached the log opening, Poppy heard him screech, Fox, are you braying, bag of bones? What's all this hullabaloo? Can an old creature get some quiet in his own home? I'm sorry, Earth, Fox returned in a voice that was at best stifling. I didn't know you were here, just trying to grab a mouse who ran into your place. A snack. Nothing more. Not trying to bother you. No harm meant. Just a midday nibble. Don't nag me about your nibbles, you nitwit, Earth bellowed. When I say get lost, I mean do it. Now, Earth, let's be... Fox did not finish the sentence. Instead, Poppy heard Earth cry, I said get Broomtail! This order was followed by a whack, a yelp of pain, and a frantic stumble of paws, concluding with a barking and whining that grew faint with amazing rapid. Poppy was sure the fox was being devoured. But more frightening still, she saw the porcupine wheel about and start to waddle back down the log in her direction. Poppy panicked. She turned and fled towards her one hope of escape, the log's other end. The farther into the log Poppy went, the more foul-smelling it became. Worse was she had increasingly difficult seeing where she was going. Sure enough, she slammed into the log's far end. There was no escape hole. Stunned and unsteady on her feet, heart beating so hard she was sure it would burst, a terrified Poppy turned to confront the porcupine. Her one remaining hope was to try and slip by the beast. Though Poppy knew she risked a severe shredding, she was certain it was her only chance. Slap, pop, bebop, the porcupine cried. Where the snake sweat are you? Come out of there! Gasping for breath, Poppy braced herself against the rear of the wall of the log and got ready to bolt and die. Earth's face, grinning hideously, loomed out of the dark at her. Poppy, he cried, you wretched excuse for a runt. Why the devil are you hiding in my toilet?